There's something about an old car that just tugs at your memory. The smell of the leather, the way the chrome caught the sunlight, and the sound of an engine that felt alive. These weren't just cars, they were dreams on wheels. Today, we're taking a trip back in time to look at 50 of the rarest American cars ever built. Most of these have been forgotten, a few still sit hidden in private collections, and all of them tell a story about a time when car makers weren't afraid to dream big. 1. The Tucker 48, a glimpse of tomorrow. Back in 1948, a man named Preston Tucker promised the world a car like no other. It had a third headlight that turned with the steering wheel, a rear-mounted engine, and safety features nobody else was thinking about. But only 51 were ever made before lawsuits shut the whole thing down. Today, spotting a Tucker is like seeing a ghost from the future that almost was. 2. Chrysler Turbine Car, the jet engine experiment. In the early 60s, Chrysler gave 55 families a car that sounded like a jet plane. Literally. It ran on almost anything: gasoline, kerosene, even tequila. But the idea was too wild for its time. Most were destroyed, and the few survivors are now museum pieces, whispering of a world where cars could have roared like airplanes. 3. Stout Scarab, the first minivan. Before anyone thought of a family van, there was the 1935 Stout Scarab. Rounded like a beetle and built for comfort, it looked like it rolled out of a science fiction movie. Only a handful were made, and most people never saw one on the road. But for a moment, America had a preview of the road trips to come. 4. Cadillac V16, when bigger meant better. In the early 1930s, Cadillac decided to outdo everyone with a 16-cylinder masterpiece. It was long, graceful, and built to glide silently down the road like a piece of fine art. But the Great Depression didn't leave much room for dream cars. Today, the few that remain look like artifacts from a time when luxury had no limits. 5. Oldsmobile F-88, the Corvette that never was. In 1954, Oldsmobile showed off a fiberglass sports car meant to rival Chevrolet's Corvette. It was sleek, bold, and ready to turn heads. But it never went into production. Just one survives, worth millions today. It's the kind of car that makes you wonder how different the highways would look if things had gone another way. 6. Packard Panther, a final roar. Packard was once a proud American name, and in 1954, the Panther was supposed to bring it back to life. Only 4 were made, low, fast, and flashy, with styling that hinted at a brighter future. But Packard was already fading. Today, the Panther stands as a rare goodbye from one of America's greatest automakers. 7. Chevrolet Corvair Monza GT, the car that inspired many. In 1962, Chevy unveiled a sleek concept car that looked more Italian than American. Low, curvy, and futuristic, the Monza GT hinted at a mid-engine sports car era that never came. But its look inspired designers for years afterward. Only one prototype was built, and it's still a showstopper today. 8. Duesenberg Model J, straight out of the Jazz Age. In the Roaring '20s, the Duesenberg Model J was the ultimate sign of success. Long, glamorous, and with horsepower numbers that blew everything else away, it was pure opulence. But the Depression hit, and the era of million-dollar toys was over. Now, seeing a Duesenberg in person feels like opening a time capsule from Gatsby's garage. 9. Ford GT40 Road Car, a race car for the streets. We all know the Ford GT40 for beating Ferrari at Le Mans, But did you know a handful were made for the road? Fewer than 30, in fact. Imagine driving one to the grocery store, a real Le Mans legend rumbling down Main Street. Rare, raw, and built for one thing, to make history. 10. Studebaker Avanti R3, the last hurrah. In 1964, Studebaker went all in on speed. The Avanti R3 was fiberglass, supercharged, and fast, 170 miles per hour fast, which was unheard of back then. But the company was already on its last legs. Production stopped, and the Avanti became one of the rarest reminders of Studebaker's final gamble. Every one of these cars carries a story of bold dreams, big risks, and roads that could have gone a different way. They remind us that America once built cars not just to drive, but to inspire. Which one would you take for a spin if you had the chance? Tell us in the comments. And if you love these trips down memory lane, don't forget to like and subscribe.